Hey everybody, a quick video before the actual video starts. I think that the stocks in this video actually have great potential to make us a lot of income and really set us up for the future. Pay attention to those stocks that I'm going to mention here because I think these stocks are going to be great for the future as we compare them to the old stocks from the Great Depression. I hope you enjoy the video. Take a look, see what you think. Take care, guys. Hey everyone, this is Alpha K. This is David talking stocks again. Today we are talking about some really important stocks, the stocks that did very well during the Great Depression. Now, why is that important? Because we can see trends and we can see what did well there and what we think will do well now, and we can correlate both. If you see the stock graphs here, you'll see how back in the 20s and 30s the stock price dropped dramatically. And you can see a very similar graph now to what we had back in the 20s and 30s. Now it took a few years up to 1932 to see the low point in the stock prices. So we might still be now at this point going down. It looks like the government may have responded a little faster today than it did back then to try to help people stay in their jobs, try to get their jobs back. And so maybe the recovery will be faster here. And it seems that we are very hopeful that things are going to get better. But what's going to happen if we see another wave of quarantine? The stock prices are probably going to come back down again. So we have to be prepared for that. But let's look back to the past so we can know what may happen in the future. So let's go through those stocks so we can start. Now you're going to be surprised because these prices, these percentages that these stocks went up was amazing. And we're going to talk from a time from 1932 when they hit the lowest point to about 1954. So we're going to see how much the stocks grew in that period of time. And the first stock is General Boat. That company was actually formed in about 1899 by the co-founder was like the father of the submarine. So they started working in the defense sector. And in that period of time, they grew 55,000%. Now, in the 50s, they merged with a new company that had just formed, which was called General Dynamics. And so Electric Boat is still in existence. They're still making boats for the defense. And General Dynamics is the company that I would recommend at this point that is very similar to what they did back then, and they're still doing it now. So there's really no change at the number one spot here. General Dynamics might be a good stock to look into for future growth. Now you think 55,000, not every stock can do that good. That was number one. But the second stock, Container Corp of America, did pretty good, 37,199% growth over that period of time. Amazing. They were in the packaging. Now, these days, I mean, you think packaging, you think FedEx, UPS, things like that. But I'm not thinking packaging in those terms, in that sense. I'm thinking, okay, I receive a lot of packages at home. Where are those coming from? Amazon, Alibaba. That's where I'm thinking. That's where the growth is. We know how expensive Alibaba is right now. They're about $200, but we know that Amazon is about $2,500 per stock, and we believe that these stocks are going to keep on growing. And so this might be something that you look at as far as stocks to invest into that may be somewhat related. It's a little bit of a stretch on this one, but to the packaging company of back then to these two companies now. So we're going to see a lot of sectors that are represented in this top 10, but there is a little bit of a trend, and I think you'll see that as we go along here. The next one is Truax Crayer Coal. They're in coal industry, and they grew by 30,199%. Huge company back then, and you're thinking coal, you're thinking energy. What I'm thinking today, and I'm thinking futuristic, is I'm thinking 5G. I mean, that's where the energy is coming from to promote for the whole future. I'm not thinking about clean energy. I'm not thinking about old electricity or anything like that. I'm thinking where is the growth going to be here? And I think that I can relate this to 5G growing in these numbers over the next 20, 30, 40 years. And we're thinking Xilinx, Qualcomm, Ericsson, Crown Castle, Verizon Communications, Marvell Technology, Apple, all of these companies very big in this 5G, and I think that they are the ones that are actually going to do fantastic. And again, I'm making a stretch, but I'm trying to make correlations that would be helpful and useful, that I think would see similar growth as we go on. 30,000% growth, I don't know, but it would be nice. It would be nice. Let's go on to the next one though. The next one is interesting. International Paper and Power. So they were into paper and hydroelectric power, both. Nice combination. They grew by 30,501%. Now, what I'm thinking here is a little bit different. Power again, and they're kind of helping the world. Cisco and Intel, I think, fall into these categories as well, which probably could fall into that previous category I just talked about as well. But I think those two companies would do fantastic to go on. I'm still thinking power, I'm still thinking all of these things, and I'm still thinking 5G on these. Now, one of the reasons that International Paper and Power grew is that they also helped the defense with shipping crates. And they made sturdy shipping crates for the military. And so that's one of the other reasons that they grew as well. So we see the defense already had number 1, and now number 4 they've been involved for, and a few more to come up. So number 5 is not a car per se. It's not Ford, it's not a car company or anything like that, but it is in auto parts actually. So Spicer Manufacturing. Spicer Manufacturing was in auto parts. It grew by 26,221%. Huge numbers. And what can I relate to a growth like that now? Not necessarily auto parts, but I'm thinking Tesla. I mean, look at that Tesla, how it's growing, how it's spreading. They might do fantastic. Now, I personally don't like to invest into Tesla, although I probably would have made a lot of money if I would have put money into it already, because the price is so outrageously high. But I think that the competition may catch up to Tesla. So is it going to grow like this auto parts company from back then? I don't know, but that may be worth a look and some speculation as to whether you think Tesla is the right company for you at this stage. Next would be Bulova Watch. Watches, timepieces, big industry back then, right? So what is similar to that now? Apple is very similar to that now. But how much did Bulova grow? 24,146%. Amazing. Amazing numbers. Apple is something that I think is very similar to this. Now, Bulova also helped the defense with aircraft instrumentation back then. So you see that now there's another company that's helped the defense. So the government has a lot to do with some of these companies succeeding as well. And I think Apple probably could help the defense in some way in the future with what they're producing, and they probably already are. I just have not researched that part of Apple yet to see what they are doing for our government. The next one is big because back then radio and television, big thing coming out, and Zenith Radio is the company. How much did it grow? 24,146%. That is amazing. Now they also helped the defense at that time making bomb fuses. Now Zenith Radio, they made the remote control. Thank God, that's a perfect blessing that came our way, and they kept on working and making it better and better and better. And I think Zenith Radio then, talking about television and all that, what is similar to them at this point? I would say, and I would invest, and I have invested in Disney. Of course, they have Disney Plus, they have ESPN Plus, they have Hulu. They have their parks, of course, and their other investments in Marvel and Star Wars and all this stuff that they have. So a lot of the things that come out in television, a lot of shows on television, not necessarily a TV set. And Netflix. Netflix is the other company I would invest into as well, because they keep on growing and they keep on expanding. and that is those are the two companies that I think are what reminds me of this type of investment that is going to grow like Zenith did back then. So those are the two companies I will look into, and maybe you might want to look into those as well. Now, the next three, two of them are in the defense, and one of them isn't. But the next one is Douglas Aircraft. Douglas Aircraft was in aerospace and defense. It grew by 23,586%. The company is similar to this one, Lockheed Martin and Boeing. Two of the biggest companies right there that help the defense out with their aviation and a lot of different things. And so those would be the ones that I would be looking into to kind of represent Douglas Aircraft from back then. The next one dealt with thermostats, aerospace, and defense. It grew by 21,608%, and it is called Minneapolis Honeywell Regulator. And a company that would be similar to this one would be Raytheon Technologies, and I would look into that one, see what you think, and give me a little information on that one as well. I have not researched that one as much, but I think it may be similar to what that would be. And the last one is Crown Zellerbach. Crown Zellerbach is a paper company, big company back then. They made 21,403%, and a similar company now, well, we don't use paper, we use computers, so I'm thinking computers, Microsoft. Microsoft would be the company that I would want to invest into, and I have invested into, that I think may have potential to grow the way these companies have grown here. I would say Apple would fit into this, but Apple already fell into two other ones, and so I don't want to mention it again. But again, Microsoft is what I'm thinking here. So history does repeat sometimes, right? And we see these big drops in the stock market that we're seeing back from the 20s and 30s, and we see it now in 2020, that hopefully we're going to see the growth in some of these companies like we did back then as well. There's a lot of potential out there for you investors to be able to put your money into great companies, and these are some of the companies that I think might be very good to invest into at this point, because they have potential to grow for you guys. And I would say don't be greedy. Don't be trying to take your money out too fast from some of these companies. If you know that the company is doing well and you know that it's going to grow, and maybe if you know it's in the defense sector, that they're going to keep on helping the defense. Electric Boat has been helping back since the early 1900s, so why wouldn't it keep on helping now and making some of the boats for the defense system? And you have Lockheed Martin, you have Boeing, you have these companies that have helped. A lot of the technology companies you know are going to be used by the government for the defense as well, because technology gets better. The government's always looking to be number one at everything and have things that are way more advanced than what they're selling to us. And so you know they're making these products for the defense as well. And so those are the companies that I think we have to really look at. We can still speculate with some and go with some of the biotech stocks and some of the other things that are going up and down and make some money off of those. But if you're looking for long-term investments like they did back in the 30s and try to get such a great gain over the next 22 years, these might be the companies you look at. For Alpha Cave, I want to thank you very much for watching our videos. Please subscribe, share our videos so that our channel keeps growing, so we can keep on producing these videos for you guys. Recommend any videos that you might want to see, any topics that you guys are interested in. We're always paying attention, and we're always trying to bring you something different here in this channel. As you know, we do kind of vary it up a little bit. We do stocks and we do sports and we do some other things as well, and some hobbies, and we will continue to do that. But you know, stocks is one of the things that we love to talk about, and I think with this perspective that we're just giving you today, hopefully it can help you to invest better in the future. Again, we're not experts in this channel. We just love doing what we do, and thank you for listening. Take care, guys. We'll see you later.